Hey, what's up, guys? This is Trav, back again with another episode of TravTalks. Today we have DustinsMC again on the show. Yes, again, because I'm out of ideas, and so whenever Dustin comes on the show, it makes it just a little bit better. But only a little bit. I'll only give you that credit. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say.
But like, I just throw you under the bus like it's just, like it's nothing. Like, just like, Dustin doesn't mean that much.
No. He's only been on my podcast like 5 times.
Yeah, like, and that's why, and that exact reason is why Dustin is kind of brought to my attention. The idea of, like, doing our own channel, with our own podcast, because I think out of every podcast that I've done on my channel, like, every episode, I feel like it hasn't gotten a lot of attention, like, just generally, like, not as much as, like, food reviewing, because, like, I've kind of just threw the podcast in the middle of a food review channel, and I've still thought to myself back and forth, like, should TravTalks be its own channel? Like, I don't know, like, I'm open to any suggestions, guys. Like, I'm kind of, like, doing all of this by, just playing all of this by ear, but, like, out of all the episodes, like, me and Dustin's episodes, I feel like people gravitate the most towards, because, like, we both have the same energy, we both have the same, well, let's just say, the same beards, and
except for right now, I shaved.
Like, well, it'll come back.
It will.
But,
it got annoying,
perfectly in time for our channel. But yeah, guys, like, let us know in the comments what you guys think, especially you people that are from Dustin's channel and stuff. Like, we'll definitely be taking your suggestions, and I'll probably make a video talking about this just aside from the podcast, like a short, like, 5-minute video, kind of announcing it. But we're kind of in the early works of doing a side podcast channel, and I think we want to call it the Bearded Bros Show, like, which is like, I was like, T&D, D&T, and stuff like that. Instant. And then we both said it. We both agreed that we said it out loud. And then I was like, dude, like, yeah, you were like, dude, that bros right off the tongue. And I'm like, I know, like, and then I said it. It's like, how does that work so well? And it's just literally because, like me and Dustin are the same in so many ways. And, like, we obviously have our opposites. We, like, have our different things. But that's just everybody. Everyone's got something different. Not everybody can just be the same person. But like, we're really similar. We're both short. Like, we're both like 5 feet something. We're both we're both bearded with, like, very similar Irish blood facial hair. Like, same I know hair. We both had to have some kind of Irish. We kind of dress the
same too. It's like, it's just weird. Like when Travis and I say we're brothers from another mother, like, it's not a joke. And we've never met.
No,
in real
yeah,
life.
I really like.
It's
no,
never.
Yeah, that's. But it's weird because I feel like I have. You know what I mean? It's like we've been so close for so long that it's like, wait, we haven't. You know, I have to remind myself, like, I actually haven't met you in person yet, and it's like really weird because so weird. I feel like I know you really well. And, like, that, thanks to the internet, thank God bless for the internet, like, Xbox and everything, like, me and Dustin play Call of Duty every now and then, and back in the day, some GTA and all that jazz. But yeah, it's definitely exciting stuff, guys. Let us know in the comments, like, your thoughts and concerns and complaints, and well, don't complain too much, because that might be a little sour.
And if you're watching this on my channel, hello. This is the first time you're seeing me and Travis together on my channel, because I talked to him about it. I was like, I think we should upload this episode, because this episode actually is going to be very serious, despite what I'm about to say. And I was like, I feel like it would just be a good way to kind of introduce our channel idea to people. Like, I'll upload it on my channel, and if, I understand not everybody's into podcasts. I mean, like Trav said, he does food reviews. I play Minecraft. To give people something like this, it is completely different. But I've also made videos talking about, like, my struggles with depression and anxiety, and it was always something that was very well received. So I feel like not only through this podcast are Travis and I going to be able to get on and just banter about the stuff that we do, but to be able to, like, at least spread a positive message in every episode in some way.
Reach out.
Right.
Because, like, the internet is a beautiful thing, even though it can be a very negative thing, but the internet has a way of, like, me and you've discussed it a billion times, like, just personally, behind the scenes, like, little stuff, helps people, and I feel like, if people want to just listen to our show for, like, an hour and tune out, like, if that's how they are helped, and that's beautiful, but also if they want to take into consideration, like, how we do life, and how we, because, like, it's like how I've always seen stuff like that is, what does it hurt? It's like,
Right.
like, you might as well spread a positive message than to say nothing. I would rather, like, I've always felt this way about it, is I would rather say something about a problem. Well, it depends on the problem, but, like, I'd rather say something than be silent about things, because you literally never know who it's gonna help. And me and Dustin have some stories and, like, proof of that, and how, like, it helps, people, and to divide your, like, I don't know, like, just kind of the path you want to go on, and spreading positivity and being, like, an actual decent person, like, it helps you to become a better person. Like, I've felt that inside myself. I'm sure you've felt it.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like, if you're down and negative all the time, and, like, beating yourself up about stuff, it's like you're literally not gonna get anywhere.
I remember
Like,
back when I was daily vlogging, when I was living in Florida, so about 4 years ago, I got, like, inspired to do this whole movement where I called it, like, Be the Difference. And I tried to make, like, this whole clothing line thing. I'm sure you remember that, man. And, like, it's still something that I stand behind to this day. And I feel like, because it didn't really take off then, and I really didn't know what I was doing, I have more of an understanding of how
it could come back now.
Right, exactly. So if this podcast thing works out, like, that's the thing. Like, you can be the difference, whether it's in your life or somebody else's. Like, you can be that positive influence that somebody needs, even if you can't be, like, strong for yourself. Like, be strong for somebody else, because being strong for somebody else can honestly change the way that you think and the way you feel. And I just want to say, I want to preface this. I have 2 goals for Travis in life, right? One of them is I'm going to eventually receive that fucking care package, because it has been years, and it's still. He tells me every time I play Call of Duty, he's like, "Man, it's just sitting in the corner of my room," and I'm just thinking, like, what are you waiting for?
No, I did not say that. I did not say it was sitting there. I told you that
You said it was sitting there.
I told you that I.
Listen, I'm gonna get this, and there's gonna be shit in there that expired in 2013.
Well, like, the thing is, like, I have been building it, so therefore I want to perfect it before I sent it out. That way I'm not, like, being like, oh, here's another idea, and then send another thing. I might as well just send everything at once.
For years. My other goal is I'm going to get Travis and Ashley to meet me in Jamaica for my wedding, because we talked about this in the last episode. I'm getting married in Jamaica. Me and Trista decided to do a destination wedding. Travis is coming to Jamaica. He don't have a choice. Even if I
don't have a choice.
Even if I got to spend the money, like, Travis just...
All you got to do is let me know, because I can ask off however many days of work I want.
Listen,
so
this is our goal. I'm gonna lay this out on the line for you now. And if any of you watching this think you're coming to Jamaica to my wedding, you're out of your mind. You can watch it on YouTube. Anyways, I'm still sick. Oh, my God. Excuse the coughing. I'm getting over this sickness.
Yeah, you guys should have heard him like a week ago. His voice was cracking like a freaking earthquake.
Oh, yeah. It was like hitting puberty.
Like, literally, I was talking to him on Xbox. He's like,
I know. I'm like trying to yell at people. I'm like trying to yell at people. Call Dave, like, he shoot me in the back, Travis.
He's right over there. I'm like, wait, what'd you say?
Yeah,
like,
I'm better now,
basically.
Minus the cough. But the whole Jamaica thing. Oh, okay. So we're getting married May 22nd of 2021. That's our date. We have it set in stone. So what we're thinking is just book, like, 3 days. So, like, a day before the wedding, we'll get there, have the wedding the following day, and then just a day after where everybody can just kind of chill, and then leave the day after that, or however you want to do it. Like, 3 or 4 days is really all you need. But you just got to get passports and go to Jamaica, man. And it's at an all-inclusive resort too, which is the best part. So it's like, hey, here's a bunch of beer and food. Eat and drink until your heart is content. Oh, here's a swimming pool. Here's an ocean. Have fun. And I'm excited. Even though I'm not, like, a big drinker anymore, but, like, like, it's my wedding, man. I'm going to be in Jamaica. Like, I'm going to drink. I'm going to enjoy my time. You know what I mean? Like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, just enjoy your time.
Travis and I might
good fam.
Right. Travis and I might even record a podcast in Jamaica. Shirtless.
Like
by a pool.
Like, yeah, we should do like a video, like record the video part of that. It's like we're sitting outside, like in like Hawaiian shirts, and
oh, there's gonna be no shirts, and we're wearing Speedos.
I am not gonna not wear a shirt, dude. I might unbutton it some or something, but like I'm not gonna go shirtless.
I'm not going shirtless.
I don't got the dad bod for that.
I got the dad bod for that.
You got the dad bod.
I do got the dad bod.
Even though that means that it's opposite, where it's like we're bad, and then
I also
the
have
person that's not the dad bod is actually the better looking.
I also have like some muscle and I have tattoos. My arms. I have some pretty big tattoos on my arms. So like I'm like the cool dad.
The cool dad.
The cool dad.
Kool-Aid dad. Drink the Kool-Aid.
My kids do drink Kool-Aid jammers. Like you would not
believe. I don't know where this just went.
I don't know.
I don't know. But that's the point of it, guys. Like, whatever comes to mind is what we talk about, and like I think people enjoy the casual laid-backness of our conversations and stuff, because we can go from straight up serious to like straight up like talking about farts like we've done every time, and so I just got to trademark it at this point. Any good farts lately?
Yes, actually, I was just gonna tell you this last night. Tristan and I were laying in bed, and we were like just like, I don't know, like she gets in these moods where she's like really playful, and we'll just like, I don't even know, we like play fight kind of, and I sat up, like I kind of went from my side and like sat up on my knees real quick, and I felt a fart, so I like kind of pushed it out, and I thought it was gonna be just like a real quiet one, and it literally sounded like I sat on a duck. It was pretty funny. I laughed. Trista laughed. Dang. Of course, and not because I have a cough. Like not only like I laughed, I also collapsed along coughing after. So that was pretty sick.
That's great.
Yeah,
good stuff.
It was a great time.
It was a great time.
It was a great time. But I mean,
oh man,
Trista's farts have just been absolutely beautiful. They are really a thing of beauty. It's an art form. This girl can play the butt tuba like you would not believe. It's just like, and she can change the tone. Like, it's weird.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't know if you have this, Dustin, because like
I don't have
expressed so many times that you don't have really big farts.
I don't have big farts.
But I can like just, but it's like always when I wake up. Like, I don't know what it is about, like, and maybe somebody out there, like, or Ashley probably even knows because she's a nurse, of, like, the science behind it, but, like, I feel like I don't fart in my sleep enough because I wake up, and when I start stirring around, whether I'm getting ready or, like, today, I slept in really, like, best sleep ever, by the way. Like, it was just beautiful, but, like, I slept in, and like, you wake up, and, like, no matter what you're doing, whether going to work or whatever, like, start just, getting around, walking, you're still groggy, but, like, I mean, it just starts just flowing. Like, it's just, like, the biggest, like, just, like, just, I don't know. Usually, if I, like, turn or roll, because I roll around a lot, like, in my sleep and all that, and, like, I'll just turn over and just open my legs, and there it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that's just, leave in the comments if you have those kind of farts, like if it's the wake up farts, whatever.
Morning farts are
that's
fucking
really
wild.
the main time. That's the main time, because I think there's something to it where it's like they're stored in you until you get around, and I don't know if like airflow through your body is more active when you wake. I don't know how any of that works. Like, I feel like it's supposed to all work the same,
right?
But then again, you're not really pushing out if you're asleep. They're probably pretty well contained. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like I said, leave me in the comments if you know.
I'm not gonna lie.
But
this is also something, I don't think people are really gonna care too much about this. I have a very high metabolism. I crap once or twice every day, and some people are like, that's unhealthy. Yeah. But then there's people that are like, dude, I shit like once a week, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why?
Oh no, that would, oh man, like that makes me feel a little bit better, because sometimes I feel like I take too long, but like once a week, that's like,
it's crazy.
That's like you're dying.
Yeah, like
it's all stored up inside. You gotta let it out.
I crap 1 to 2 times a day, man, and I'm telling you, there's times, man. I just had one the other day, man. I sat down. I was like, oh my god, like I told Tristan, I was like, look, I gotta run to the bathroom like now. I go in there and I sit down, and I mean, I pushed, and it was just, it was a fart symphony just echoing through the bowl. Not a single turd. It was just great, long, boisterous, big, manly,
I hate going to
girthy
work.
farts.
I hate going to work and going to the stall, and like it's always worse whenever somebody else is doing that, and you know that they're trying not to do it
Dude,
that loud,
I
but
laugh.
they do anyway.
I laugh. I don't care if they hear me. I'm not listening to this.
You hear the door close, the click, and then you hear them like rustle around, getting their pants down. You hear this, and then you just hear into the toilet bowl. I'm like, good lord, man. But there's always like an air, just like the gates open. Basically, it's always air first.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's always.
And then it sounds like World War III with shit in the toilet bowl. Yeah. No, I understand. I actually have a really funny story about a fart in a public bathroom. It was me and my buddy Eric coming back from South Carolina, and it was the last time that we drove back. So like this was, we stop. I don't even know. I want to say we were in like West Virginia, maybe Virginia, one of them, one of the Virginia states.
West Virginia.
Yeah, I think it was West Virginia. So we stop at this rest area, and me, my friend, and like 3 other dudes all walk into the bathroom at the same time. So like, dude goes to one urinal, I skip a urinal, I go to the next one, right? Like, cause you never pee next to another dude. That's just fucking weird. I don't care if there. It does not matter if you like to pee in a urinal. If there is a space between 2 dudes, you never take that space. You go into a stall. It is bro bathroom etiquette. Don't do it. Unless the stalls are taken, you absolutely don't have a choice to whip your junk out and pee in the urinal next to 2 people. Whatever, I don't care. But so I skip a urinal, and this dude skips the other urinal from me. So we're like, spaced out evenly, a urinal in between us. Little dividers. It was nice, private. My friend goes into the stall. Other guy's washing his hands, and my friend lets out this fart, and it was so loud because it was dead quiet in there. There was no noise, right? Just freaking 4 dudes in there taking, a leak, whatever. And my friend just rips this fart, and there I am, 27 years old, pissing all over the back of the urinal, laughing so hard that I am crying. I couldn't wash my hands. I couldn't dry my hands. I laughed from the time that fart left his ass until we got in the car a half hour later. It finally stopped. I literally laughed so hard that it was silent, and I cried.
That's amazing.
It was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I mean, not only that, but it was like, we've been, at this point in time, we were probably driving for like 8 hours. So, like, we're delusional, I mean, we just worked, like, 7 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. We're delusional as hell. We've been in the car for 8 hours straight, and, like, it was just the funniest thing ever. And I got ripped off at a vending machine in West Virginia, and I just want to say fuck that place, because at this rest area, I went to the vending machine. I was like, you know what, man? Like, I need some caffeine. Like, I got to drive the rest of the way home. Like, they had a Starbucks vending machine. Dude was at the Starbucks vending machine. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, this guy was laughing with me too. So like, the same guy that like heard my friend shit himself in the stall, it was laughing, and I was laughing. So like, I'm at the vending machine. I'm still pissed at myself. This dude was like, being weird, whatever. He's at the Starbucks vending machine. I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna get like a Mountain Dew. And I saw they had Mountain Dew ice in this vending machine. I was like, man, I hadn't had a Mountain Dew ice in a while. So I swiped my card. This vending machine charged me $5.35 for one regular size bottle of Mountain Dew ice.
Why? Is it just how much they actually were?
I don't know. And I was like, I looked at my friend. I was like, if I would have went to the Starbucks one, I probably would have paid close to $10 for an iced coffee. There's no way. Any other time you go to a vending machine, you pay $1.75. Why? Like, if that, like $1.50. I was like, it was over $5. Over $5 for a damn Mountain Dew ice. And it didn't tell me the price either until after I swiped the card and pressed the button. It was like, your total is blah. And I was like, what the hell? That was stupid.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That's, yeah. Like, I don't know. I've always, vending machines can always be so, like, picky. Like, you never know if you're gonna get your drink or not sometimes, or snack or whatever.
Right. We have a vending machine at work.
getting a snack stuck in it or whatever, and like, dang it,
We have a vending machine at my job that like eats money all the time. It's ridiculous, dude. I swiped my card one time and it's like, make a selection. I hit it, And it's like, it's obviously right there. It's a glass. Like, I can fucking see. Like, give me my goddamn beef stick. You know what I mean? And it's just like, nope. Make another selection. I'm like, F0, give me that cream pie, baby. Nothing. And then I have to settle for something stupid like jubes. I don't want fucking jubes. I wanted a goddamn beef stick and maybe an oatmeal cream pie, but you're just shitting on me with these stupid gummy snacks that I don't even want. There's black licorice in there. I don't want that. I'd rather lick Satan's taint. I don't want
What?
I'm just listen. I'm on something tonight, man.
Like I said,
This was
you
actually
never know where these episodes are gonna go, and that's what I like about them.
This was
is
supposed
like,
to be a very serious podcast, actually.
yeah, I don't. Now I'm kind of like, I don't know how the heck we're gonna transition into that. So I'm almost just like,
I got this transition.
Could just tell funny stories. I really don't care either way.
I got this transition. Okay. All jokes aside, we've been recording for 21 minutes. This was actually meant to be a very serious podcast because Trav recently lost a friend to suicide. Surprise, we're talking about suicide. I know it's a very like touchy subject for some people, but I feel like Travis and I have now. Travis has. I don't want to say this and make it sound like a negative thing, but you kind of have experience with it now. You know.
Yeah.
Not that you.
No. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like,
Right.
And we don't want to. And, like, I told Dustin whenever I brought this to his attention about making an episode about, like, about suicide prevention and all this stuff was, like, I don't, like, and I'll just say this right away before we get into any of it, like, I don't want to, like, come off as disrespecting literally anybody that's ever died this way or, like, you know, or just death in general, just because, like, we're not trying to be, like, you know,
rude about it.
Attention, you know, or whatever, like, over someone's, like, using someone's death to, like, to get views and stuff like that is not what we're about.
Mm-hmm.
We are only wanting to help. We are only, because, like, I'm, you know, when it happened, I was so blown away because I just literally didn't know, like, that he was struggling at all. Like, in, you know, me and him, like, grew up together on the same street. We were neighbors and stuff, and, like, it just blew my mind because, like, it woke me up to, like, you know, you really never know. Like, and when I found out, like, I was just basically numb the whole day. Like, I did not know how to feel. And then, like, something just kind of sparked in me, like, you know what? I am sick of this happening to people. I'm sick of, like, depression beating my friends down. And I'm sick of, like, my own, like, mental, like, anxieties and all this stuff, like, and it just if anything, it lit a fire in me to, like, and I've always had that fire, but, like,
Right.
Whenever stuff happens, it just gets relit because I'm like, no, like, I refuse to accept, like, anybody else, like, you know, and people posted on his wall and stuff, like this one guy I'll never forget, he posted something like, anybody else ever feels this way, like, I will literally drive miles to your house. I will buy you a beer. Like, we will talk. Like, I don't care if we talk about, like, how bad things are or just, like, just the Star Wars or just something random. Like, it does, like, it just know that, like, I'm here. And that's just, like, and that's kind of my message to, like, everybody, too, is just, like, guys, like,
It's not the only option.
there is a way out.
And that's not
I'm
the
gonna
way
tell
out.
you right. I'm gonna tell you right now. There is a way out. There's a better. You can beat this. I don't care what. Like, I don't care what mental. Like, I don't care how bad it is. Like, don't take your own life. Like, and I've seen Dustin say the same thing on, like, his live streams and stuff. I remember whenever that one guy commented on your live stream, and then you were like, you know, after this live stream, let's talk, you know. And I don't know if you talked to him or not, or how that turned out, but, like, we just want people to know that, like, it, you know, Dustin has said it really well before, and it's always resonated with me, and I've kind of used it, is like, you're going downhill. There's always going to be, I don't know how you said it in the past, but, like, this is how I describe it, is you're going downhill, there's always going to be an uphill. Like, like, where there's a slope, there's a, like, you have to eventually hit a point where things get better.
Right.
And that's just how it is. It's life, people. Like, it's life. Like, we have to, you'll discover once you get through things that things have reasons to get better. And sometimes, like, I was watching Genius Brain the other day, and, like, I'm going to link Dustin this episode because I think he'd really enjoy it whenever you just, like, have time for it. If you have to listen to it in bits or whatever, it's whatever. But, like, this David So brought this chick on that that, like, tried to commit suicide, like, back in the day. And, like, basically, long story short, it was a domino effect where because she got cancer twice, and she has now basically beat it. And, like, she had cancer twice. She tried to commit suicide because she got so low, and, like, because of her cancer, basically it led her to have a career that she has now, and, like, all this stuff. Like, and it's a really beautiful story. Right. That, like, even after, my friend, did what he did, like, I watched that and just, like, dang, man, like, it just, like, it's that feeling of, like, if only the people that have died this way could have watched this or whatever. You never know, like, how it might, even if they still eventually, do something to themselves, like, you never know how long it can push them back from an extended time. People just sometimes have to be, and this is for everybody. I don't care who you are, this is for everybody. People sometimes just have to be reminded that, like, it sounds cliche, but you're not alone, and that it's okay. Like, just, like...
It is very okay. It's okay to not be okay. And I can tell you...
Yeah, exactly.
I can tell you this, too. Like,
exactly.
Don't be afraid to hit rock bottom. Like, don't be afraid to take the tumble, to take the fall. Because sometimes hitting rock bottom and being...
Yeah, you can't go any lower.
At the lowest point in your life, like, where you feel that, like, mentally, physically, emotionally... Like, sometimes you need that, and I feel like people...
You need it to learn, for one.
It is. I've said it before. Honestly, some of the best lessons in life that you will learn are learned through pain. Honestly, I've been through hell and back, with certain things in life, and sometimes things do get bad, and I still have bad days. I mean, we all do, and sometimes I just have to take a step back and think, you know what, like, there is somebody out there that has it worse than me, like... And anytime that it's like I have a bad day, I notice when I think back on it, or in the time where I'm like, okay, like, I'm really pissed off about this. It's like, as I was saying, some lessons in life are honestly best learned through being hurt, because I've had bad days. We all have bad days. And every time I realize, like, if I have, like, if something pisses me off and I think back on it, like, either that day or, like, a couple days later, I'm like, it was such a stupid minor inconvenience. And it's just like, was it really worth, like, wasting my energy on, like, being mad about something like that, like, something so stupid? And I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I'm not a perfect human being. I have flaws. Like, I can sit here and preach to somebody and give them good ass advice, but, like, I am really bad at following my own advice. Terrible at it. And, like, there's times where, and my fiance will agree, like, I get so upset over some of the dumbest things ever, and it is stupid, and, like. Here I am.
Do too,
it's
man.
like,
I feel you on that.
It's like, literally, like, the last thing I can think of was, like, there was a pair of shoes at my job that I wanted, and they were very, like,
oh no, shoe talk from Dustin.
They were very, like, coveted, like, sought after shoes. They sell out every time they come out. They sell out, and they resell for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, and I'm not exaggerating that. Like, it's insane. And I had the opportunity to get them for, like, $70. They were, like, $170 shoes. I could have got them for, like, $70. And, like, I didn't want to spend the money, but, like, I thought about it. And, like, one of my managers at work was, like, sick of people asking about them and got all, like, pissed off about it and, like, sent them away. And, like, nobody had the chance to get them. And, like, it, like, irritated me. And I'm like, you know what? Like, here I am, like, kind of upset over a pair of fucking shoes that don't mean anything. When there's people out there that literally, like, have never had a good pair of shoes. And there's people out there that, like, they can't afford bills or they can't afford food, and here I am getting pissed off over a pair of shoes. And it's like, it's so just, it's so stupid, to get mad about dumb things like that. Because
I agree, and like, yeah, like you said, everyone's gotten, went through something worse. But go ahead,
right.
I'll let you finish what you were saying.
And what I've noticed too, and when I talk about my suicide story, I'm not going to mention names of people just because that's something that's very private, and I don't want to put that out on the internet.
There's no need.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring to Dustin's attention at like the halfway mark of this episode. Is like I want him to tell this story. And I asked him before I got on Xbox with him and played some COD, and I asked him, like, would you be okay with telling the story again? And I knew that you'd say yes just because you've already talked about it on your channel before, like when you were at a really low point. And I respect the heck out of you, too, for back then doing that, because it's exactly how I process things, where I'm like, you were, like, depressed, and so you kind of, like, told this story just to kind of let it out and be like, hey, like, I struggle with this. Like,
Right.
And sometimes admitting out loud, and I sent this as a tweet to Boogie when he was talking about anxiety. Like, Boogie2988, most of you know who the heck he is. Great guy. He also lives in my state, and we've been, like, kind of just talking very briefly back and forth on Twitter. But he was mentioning anxiety, and I was just like, like the way that I cope with anxiety and like any kind of dark thoughts is like you have to just sometimes admit out loud, like even if it's like in a room to yourself, like I mean you can mentally like do that, but it might be even better just like admit out loud like I have a problem and like and
Right.
I will spend the rest of my life to fix it because I'm going to be happy no matter what. Like you
Exactly.
you have to like. That's one thing that I've learned. This is something, and Dustin, this is only something that I've really learned over the past couple of years. Like, this is me coping with my social anxiety and all the problems I have. Is me, like, anytime, like, literally one time, one of my friends from work, like, was pushing carts outside, and he said something like, he said something about like me not being that social or whatever, and I just straight up told him to his face. And I respect, he's a cool guy and like we're good, but I straight up told him to his face like that's what I get for having anxiety disorder. Like I am like so more comfortable than I have ever been in my entire life at this point to just admit it.
Right.
Like if I just admit it, I feel a lot better because usually if you're talking to somebody in person about that, they most likely relate in some way.
Exactly.
Like that's the thing, guys, is we're not alone in any of this. Like we're all people that are all connected in different ways, and like and like every time I've made a friend with somebody and they become a close friend, like I've even became close with Thomas from work. Shout out to Thomas. He's probably not listening, but like me and him relate on so many ways. And at first, I may have even misjudged him, and he misjudged me. He's admitted it. Like I didn't know if I'd like you at first or whatever. And like we've come to realize, like we're becoming close friends. And like just admitting that you have a problem is the best way to. For me anyway, and everything, people do it in different ways, and I don't have a therapist. I don't have any of that yet. I've thought about it, but it's just like the money mainly, but even Jeremy Johns, he's a movie reviewer on YouTube, like everyone knows Jeremy, like he does those monthly vlogs where it's a huge vlog for the whole month, and he has admitted and showed, like, I'm in the parking lot at my therapist, and all that, like he admits, like I like to talk to people about my problems because it makes you learn more about yourself. And I think over the past few years, I can actually say, like, I've learned a lot about myself just through just figuring out how to cope with things. And everything's a lesson learned. Like, every little thing you go through, like, no matter how sad it is to say that it's used as, like, a lesson, but sometimes it just is. But anyway, back to like what I was saying earlier, is I was gonna ask Dustin to tell his story, because this story, literally anytime I've ever thought about like suicide and like well, not myself, but like just people like doing it, my brain just, even if it's for a second, goes to your story. That is like probably like it's just one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever heard, and I don't know, like, I just want, like, you can tell it at your own pace, but, if you wouldn't mind, Yeah, you can tell it.
Right. So, in high school, I wasn't like a popular person by any means, but like I kind of got along with this like everybody in some way. Like I was kind of like that weird in between person, and through my classes, I met my friend. I'm not going to mention names, but, he obviously it's who the story's about, and he was just like this really like goofy, super outgoing person all the time. Like no matter what, like if you had a bad day, like he was one of those people that would just like he could like make you smile and laugh like all the time. And he actually like I'm a child. I laugh at farts, and like there would be times where he would like fart in the one class I was in with him, and I would always get in trouble because I'd laugh at it. And I would look back at him, he'd just have this stupid grin on his face. Like I'll never forget it. Like he was just he was like one of those people. Like no matter what, like I don't think I've ever seen him in a bad mood ever. Like he was a year ahead of me too. So like the 3 years I was with him in high school, like I really don't think that kid has ever been in a bad mood. And he also was friends with like Tristan and I, because Tristan and I were engaged now, but we dated through high school. Tristan was actually my high school sweetheart. And he was like a mutual friend between the two of us. And Tristan and I were young, and like, we fought and we argued and whatever, like, young couples do. And there was like a couple times where he's actually like saved our relationship. And I remember him like saying to us, and to her specifically, like, you cannot be Trista without Dustin. And he said the same thing. He's like, you can't be Dustin without Trista.
Man. He was the glue.
Right. And like he kind of just like held it together. And it was just like I was always so thankful for him too. And he graduated high school, and I was in my senior year, and he kind of went and did his own thing. Like he ended up having a kid, and he was in the military, and it was just like a whole thing. And we kind of like, we never really like stopped talking, but we didn't like, talk like we did in high school. Obviously, like I didn't see him every day or anything like that. And he ended up taking his own life one day, and it's like really hard it's really hard to say this without it sounding wrong. Like I expected this to happen, but like he did it over like a video chat, and I saw it happen. I didn't know it was gonna happen, but like it did. It happened, and it was like you said, like when you found out about your friend, that you were just numb, and that's how it was. It was like I remember like I just sat back real quick, and I just closed out of it, and I just sat there, and I was like, like I kept telling myself, no, like this.
Like
this isn't real.
Like there would be no way like anybody would. Right. Like anybody would be able to process that within like a few seconds.
Right.
Like,
right.
And that's the most mind blowing thing about that story to me. Why I think about it is like, and because you said that like there was like zero signs that he would ever do that, and that's why I say people like, I whenever I lost my friend, check on your friends, check on your enemies too, because you have the ability to change people's lives, like, and to maybe even save them. And like, do I, put any blame on myself? No, but I still kind of am like, man, I wish we would have been it, because we had planned to hang out for like a long time, and he wanted to like jam some music and stuff, and I have like his old guitar from when he grew up and stuff. And his mom, what's even more mind blowing, admitted to me personally that like that was the one that he learned guitar on. I was like, as a kid,
it's so
like,
weird that like you have that now, right?
It's so crazy. Like I've had it for years, and like and now it's just like this more sentimental thing,
right?
And so, like, but yeah, that always blew my mind about Dustin's story. Is like, just for one, like live chatting, choosing to do that, and like I can't wrap my head around it. Just for one, the choice being made by him to like, I'm going to do this on a live chat. But one thing that Dustin said that I really was like, kind of like, wow, I didn't think of it this way, was like, what if it was his way of like showing you something? I don't know.
Right. Well,
you know what I mean? Because like,
here's the thing about it is when this happened, Tristan and I weren't together at this point in time, and I think this was probably like my my lowest point in my life, like because I was super depressed. I had the world's worst sleeping schedule. I like was just really unhealthy. I like didn't do anything. And I was like I had suicidal thoughts. And like I in my experience with this too, like not to get like sidetracked or anything, but like I have friends that are like that struggle with depression, like close friends that tell me like, oh, if I just killed myself, like, it would all go away. And it's just, if I learned anything, the people that have to say that they need to do that and announce it to the world to like get sympathy and get attention are the biggest liars and cowards, because it's like my experience with people that have taken their own lives, like they don't talk about it like that. Like you never know. And that's how your case was. Like you wouldn't have known, but I was I was really depressed. Like and I was very suicidal, and I vented to him about it. And I was like, like if I died today, no one would fucking care. And that obviously wasn't the case. And suicide is a very selfish thing, and it's one of those things like it's very glorified on television. Like there's TV shows about it, and it's in movies.
Oh, yeah.
And like it's you never see like the real side of it, like what it does after the fact that it happens, because it's like you feel bad for that person, and like you have sympathy, but at the same time it's like like why would you do that and think that like no one cares about you, because like like it's fucked up, because like, you have such like a mixed emotion about it, like mixed feelings. And but I was super depressed, and I went to his funeral, which was probably like the hardest thing. I've still never been to his grave. I can't bring myself to ever go. But like Trista was actually there. Like Trista showed up there, and I remember like walking in, and it was just like seeing his family and just everybody, like family and friends and everybody, just like like in tears. And it all clicked in my head right then and there of like, holy shit, like that could be my mom.
Holy crap, he's literally gone forever.
Right, like
that. Like it's different than movies, because those actors are living and breathing right now, and it's just like, and like real life is this just like, I went to my friend's like little funeral. They had like an outside one, and shout out to this girl that like I didn't bring my umbrella, and like it was slightly raining, and she literally took the time to like be like, hey, you want to share my umbrella? She didn't know me, and I'm just like some dude, and she just like was like, all right, like we're gonna share an umbrella, because I was like getting soaked, but it was like a light rain, so like and it was, and I'll always remember that, because like the little things matter.
Exactly.
Like, and with like that girl doing that for me, ironically, at my friend's funeral, is just like, like that did help me, and like I appreciated it. I didn't absolutely need it, but like she took the time to have a heart and she like she didn't know how much I was attached to him or anything, or she didn't know if I was family or whatever. So, but she may have been confused that I was family, just because she said like I said thank you whenever it was over. They were like, like everybody drives, whatever they said at the end, and then she like turned and was like, I said thank you, and then she's like, no problem, and I hope that you're okay. Like
it's
like
those things make a big difference to somebody.
They do, like, and like that, and I'll never forget that, and the fact that I'll never forget that means that she did good right there with that, and I didn't ask for it from anybody. But but yeah, like, so, but yeah, back to my point is, like, going to his funeral is just, like, this dude is gone, man. Like, it's a permanent thing. Like, until I see him again in the afterlife, it's, like, he's in a box, and it's just,
yep. It's sad. It's
sad.
Really,
yeah, it's just, like, and so taking your own life, like, is just... I will never, no matter how dark anything could ever got for me or anybody else, it is not worth it. Mm-hmm. like I look at it as like it's a selfish thing, because you're hurting everyone around you that like they literally are alive and breathing and have to mentally deal with that and cope with it, and like, and
right.
leaving his mom behind this way, and like just.
And when you're in that state of mind too, you don't think about
yeah.
that. You do not stop to think about that, because you just feel like nobody cares.
Exactly.
And as much as I hate to admit it, and as fucked up as this sounds, is like, I'm kind of glad that my situation happened the way it did, because like, I feel like I would have done something stupid. Like it's sad that it had to take me being, and I give you props, man. Like, you actually stuck out his whole funeral. Like, I don't even think I made it 5 minutes. Like, it literally it messed me up that bad. I remember walking out, and I was just like, I was devastated. And I remember Trista following me out and like hugging me outside. I don't know if she remembers it, but I remember that. And again, that's something that stuck with me, because even though her and I weren't together and we weren't talking, like, she was still there, because she knew that, we were friends, like that. And obviously, like, it affected me. Like, I couldn't even stay. I could not.
Isn't that crazy that it came full circle with her and everything too?
And now we're engaged. Yeah, it is so. It's so weird.
She's so weird. It's almost just literally like, I mean, obviously you have picked her as like the one, because obviously you got engaged to her, but in a way that's what that means. If we want to go all cliche and lovey-dovey about destiny, that's there it is, man. It's like, it's like she was always there, and like maybe y'all didn't work out at a time, but y'all matured since then, and blah blah blah, and now it's like you figured out a way to make it work.
Well, we talked about it too, like.
Yeah.
And it still gets brought up pretty often in conversation. We're off the whole suicide topic now. It's transitions. Like, it still gets brought up in conversation that like feelings have always been there between us, because even though we were young, we had a very like kind of like a serious, almost like a mature relationship. And that's really odd when you're, 15, 16 years old, to have something like that. And I told her too, I was like, I really think that was, it was like a blessing, but it was also the downfall of our relationship too, because our relationship was so serious and we took it so seriously. Like, we both really kind of missed out on like those teenage years, I guess, because we were so like dedicated and in love with each other back then. It's odd, man. And it all came full circle. And the funny thing is I always told her too, like, throughout the years of us not being together, I always told her, I was like, I'm going to steal you from somebody one day. Like, I'm going to end up back with you. Like, it's going to happen. And we just laugh it off, whatever. And now here we are, 7 years later. And she's laying in bed being a crab ass.
Dude, yeah. And like, I don't know if I ever ran into Ashley or anything, but I think that, I didn't know her. And I kind of wish, like, me and her have talked about that. Like, wouldn't it have been cool if, like, we, like, I don't know, because she said one time, because me and Ryan used to do like these old movies and all this stuff, and like
I'm sorry, man,
stupid stuff.
When those get uploaded, I always go back and listen to your voice, and I fucking die every time. It's so funny.
I know, dude. It's quite the worst. It's too country is the problem.
It is.
But
it is.
and Ryan's voice, and you know what? And me and Ryan have both agreed, and he has agreed full 100% that his voice got lighter over time. Like, his voice used to be deeper. I swear on my life it had. Like, I don't think I'm hearing things. Like, I listen to his voice on those, and then I'm like, wait, how is his voice so deep back then? And then obviously, like, my voice mainly just smoothed out to, like, I'm not country anymore whatsoever, but I grew up a country kid.
You still have an accent.
I still do, yes, but not as bad as like I'm a lot more more chill and YouTubery.
Oh my
but
God.
Anyway,
it's so funny when you go back and you're like, hey Ryan, but it's like so much more high pitched.
Ryan, I like the braces and some stupid haircut.
It cracks me up.
So, but anyway, back to what I was saying was, like, Ashley said one time that she wishes she would have known us, and like we would have, like, she could have been in them and like been friends with us and stuff, and then it would have been kind of like, it'd been like destiny. Like, it's like we can wind up. Anyway, it is what it is. But we have found out that we've been to a lot of the same concerts before we ever met. And she literally, where I used to live out in the woods with my dad, and when my mom and dad were together, literally down the street was like she lived with her parents, like, growing up, and her parents also split up, and then when I moved in with my mom after my parents split up, I lived at my mom's a lot more often in town and not like in the freaking thicket. We lived in town, but so did she at her dad's really close by. It was like
It's
it's
so
this
weird.
weird thing. It's this weird thing where she was always really close by, even though I'd never met her until like you know what? And I talked to Ryan about this the other day. Literally, I had a girl that I dated for like not very long. I met on POF.
I remember her.
And and we split up and it just didn't work out but I remember having this one thought, Dustin, like I think that's it for me on POF. I think I'm just gonna I don't know. Like I think I'm gonna give it a break. Then something told me like to stay on there. Like I just was like, maybe I'll just keep it around, but not like take it so seriously. And then there was Ashley, like not that long after. It was within the same year. So it was almost like
It's so crazy, dude.
it was almost like God was telling me, like, this girl that you just dated, like you're missing the mark. Like you were meant to mate another one, and like here she is. Like that's basically like I literally, and I told Ryan the story the other day, and he also agrees that it's mind blowing. Like I almost just considered deleting my POF, and if I would have done that, I wouldn't be where I'm at now, like married with a job, like living in the town I'm living in, which isn't my hometown anymore, and like all these, and I'm just thinking about everyone from work I wouldn't know, and really my chicken plant job I had for 2 years, none of my friends there either, and like I don't know where I'd be. Like I don't know, like I'd probably be a different kind of person. Like I don't know that for sure. I probably would have found a job by now and blah blah blah, but I just wouldn't be as like, I definitely know that I wouldn't be as happy.
Right.
And like I'm in this place now where it's like things are just going this well. Wouldn't have the car that I have now, like, and so yeah, guys. one of the messages of the day is go with your gut about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and that
Like
what's
deep,
really weird?
deep with your gut.
Is both times like how Tristan and I ended up dating. It was never like actively looking for a relationship, because I don't even know like what I just remember like I would be leaving lunch like my freshman year, and I just kept seeing this really cute girl walk down the hallway, and there's me. Like, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I am not smooth at all. Like I'm about as smooth as crunchy peanut butter, but like like in my mind I'm like, I'm gonna go put my arm around this girl because I'm cool as fuck, and I put my arm around her every day, and that's what it was. You can laugh at me, but I thought that, okay? But like I don't know, like I put my arm around her every day, and we just walked down the hallway, and I would just be my dumb stupid ass self, and obviously it attracted her. And I mean it happened to kind of work the second time around too. Like I don't know.
That's pretty cool. Like yeah, it's like just going with your gut. It's the best thing you guys can do. And like going back to the only thing I'll touch on about the suicide thing is check on people. Like we're all in this together, guys. Like that's one of the whole reasons to even do content on YouTube is like, to connect with other people. Like I've met tons of people. If I never would have, started a YouTube channel, like I don't know where I'd be even in that way either.
Right.
Like I don't know.
If Trav wouldn't have started the YouTube channel and I wouldn't have spelled Diet Pepsi all over my mom's keyboard and computer desk and all over her calendar trying to be like Trav, then I don't even want to be
kind of mind blowing to think about. If I wouldn't have like thought to do like a contest, like
I poured Diet
poured
Pepsi into a fucking wine glass and spilt it everywhere. And Jason Callan still won because he did the sound effects with his mouth. He's like, "Hey guys, Trav tries." Like,
man, like everyone's was so good, but I was just like, man.
I don't even know what the winner got. I don't even remember.
Like I sent him a bunch of like drinks and stuff. Like it was kind of like an up in the air gift, but like I sent him like a letter with like we had all these like the Hastings rental store drinks. There's like the Hello Kitty energy drink and like all this other stuff, and like I just packed it full of stuff, and it was just gonna be like a bunch of well, food type stuff, and like even if you got it, I mean, I'm sure you would have like you probably would have reviewed it too, but
Right.
knowing you back then, but
I can't wait to unbox this care package in 2026 with Trista and our 7 kids. Fucking Aiden's gonna be graduating
God,
from
I
high
hope
school.
you don't, because like I hope you don't have. I hope you don't have 7 kids, because like I don't know if I could even handle that visiting you. It's like, dude, you got like one over here, one on the ceiling.
Yeah. Dude, Travis come over and be like, bro, he's like, you got 3 kids sleeping in your bathtub. I know.
No. I knock on the door.
I told Travis
Dustin
if I ever did come to visit him, I was sleeping in his bathtub. We were gonna put an air mattress in.
Me, what, like a drunken idiot, like just sleeping in the bathtub?
I was like, I'll just come sleep in your bathtub.
No. I knock on your door, open it. You have like 20 kids in the house, and all of a sudden it's just like, disrespect us around tags, and they all just mosh pit in the middle of the room. Like they all just like, it's like just like that cat video. The chick comes in with all the hundreds of cats, and they all just like bounce around because they're so excited she's home, and they put that audio or that song in there, and it's perfect.
Trista experienced her first ever mosh pit at a concert.
Uh-oh.
It was the cutest, saddest, scariest thing I've ever seen.
It's a mixture of emotions.
It was. Well, we went to see Machine Gun Kelly, and like he's a rapper, but like you wouldn't think that he would like, you know, but he's like a rock star too. It's kind of weird. Like he's like a, I don't know how to explain it. I'll have to link Travis some of his live stuff, but he has a song called Till I Die, and it's like a rap song, right? Like you would not, when you listen to it, like you don't hear a guitar in it, like if you listen to the original version, but like obviously he plays with a live band. And like at the end of the song, he's just like going crazy, and like he hits the guitar, and it's like dun 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 dun, and everybody was just going fucking crazy. And like Tristan and I are like right in the middle of this, and we're 5'0", and she's standing in front of me. I have a death grip around her waist. She's getting pushed all around. I'm getting mad because people are running into my fucking girlfriend at the time, and I'm all pissed off, and I'm like wanting to fucking beat the shit out of this dude. It was like 8 foot tall.
I just can't handle stuff like that.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Trista is just, you know,
PTSD, bro. Can't do it.
yeah, Trista's just not used to like, you know, that kind of environment. And I've been to like, I've seen A Day to Remember numerous times, and I've been to like harder rock shows, but like that was probably the closest I've ever been to like getting in the pit. I always try to back away because I'm not there to like get my face rocked by somebody. Like I'm there to listen to the goddamn music. I don't want to be punched in the face. I don't want to be pushed. I don't want to be stepped on. Like I don't like that. So Tristan and I like come to the executive decision that if we ever see Machine Gun Kelly again, we have to get like seats where we're not none of that floor stuff. And like my friend that was with us, he's like 7 foot tall, so like, you know, like he's a fucking tree. Like first of all, nobody's gonna run into him because he's just like a light pole in the middle of a fucking crowd. You know, like.
Well, D-Man, I think we've hit our hour, sir. At
we
least
have
close.
58 minutes.
So, and you know what? It was way too quick, but like, you know, but apparently you need to be
right.
But you need to be getting up early and all that junk. But
yeah, I gotta be up in like 8 hours. So
well, get you 8 hours sleep. But
Tristan and I are actually gonna watch some Weeds because that's a great show on Netflix.
Weeds.
So
like
good.
That's not what I expected you to come out of your mouth. Like, we're gonna watch some Weeds. Like what?
Yeah, we're gonna watch Weeds grow.
Anyway. Anyway, guys, definitely subscribe to DustinsMC. He does Minecraft stuff, and if you guys want to like watch it, even if you don't play Minecraft, because I really don't, but I enjoy Dustin's stuff because the creativity of how things come together and like how like he's like super passionate about it, and so you guys got to check him out. I'll put his channel in the description below as always, and thanks Dustin for coming on once again.
Absolutely. And if you guys are watching this on my channel, go subscribe to Trav. He does food reviews and stuff and puts together care packages over 6 years of time.
Well,
You're never gonna live it down, my
and
man.
with that, we will definitely be discussing more about the possible Bearded Bro show. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about the title and like what you guys think about, like if you even think about this episode being like, hey, like you guys seem pretty inspirational. I could see you doing your own show. Like, let us know your thoughts, comments, concerns, and we will be seeing you in the next one. Trav out, Dustin out, and peace out.
Bye bye. I still can't do it.
Bye.